Okay, restart what you were saying. Restart everything.
Alright, so, like, you know how you look, like, people have looked around scientists and they haven't seen hardly any signs of life at all, like, none, basically,
Okay.
in the universe, right? We're alone. So that must, since life is so rare and sparse meaning the opposite of dense, like, you know, the Earth is the only planet, life is very, very, very hard to come by. Like, there's some step in life, you know, or at least in sentient life, you know, because think about it, right? The local group, which is like the Milky Way, basically, it's a fancy way of saying the Milky Way, anything we can go to in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Anything in the local group, you know, we don't see any sign of life at all, and that's kind of alarming because the universe is billions and billions and billions of years old, right?
Right.
We've come a long way, but we haven't seen any signs of life. It could be so, like, think about it this way. A Type 2 civilization, which we're not even a Type 1 yet, we're almost a Type 1, but a Type 2 or 3 civilization could make these space probes. They go throughout galaxies, they travel, you know, like, you know how we sent a probe all the way to Pluto?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, in theory you could create probes that self-replicate, so imagine you send a probe past Pluto, or maybe you send it to Pluto, it lands, it gathers metals, and because it's a machine, the frost doesn't harm it as bad, you know? Maybe it's built specifically for that, so. It lands on Pluto, gathers raw materials, makes another probe, right? Maybe it makes like 10 other probes. So the other 10 probes launch, and they leave the galaxy. Like, they leave our solar system.
Group. Oh.
Not the local group, they leave the solar system.
I was gonna say, that's great.
The local group is huge.
Yeah.
The local group is basically the Milky Way and Andromeda when it gets close enough.
I want to go to Andromeda. I'm calling it. I'm calling my shotgun. Calling my seat. I'm going. Can't stop
But,
me.
okay, anyway, if we did that, it wouldn't take very long for these probes to infect other solar systems, right? Like, some other alien life might look in their sky and they might see these probes, right, Will?
How come Taylor's always posting furry in chat? But yeah,
Because
I got you.
it's a furry.
Oh, she is a furry.
She's literally a furry.
But anyway, like, the question is, why haven't we seen any probes like that? Because there's been more than enough time. So that just adds on to the ominous fear of, like, why isn't there life? Have something stopped them from getting to a Type 2 civilization? Have they been wiped out by something? Or are they just coincidentally really late in their development like us?
Would you want to communicate our planet if you were somewhere else?
No.
Yeah, me
No.
Well, they wouldn't know.
But I'm talking about these probes. You couldn't really trace the probes back unless you put directions on it like a retard.
Well, if the probes have been watching us and studying us, then they'll just be like, hell no, and back off of our planet.
Well, they don't know our language. They don't know, like, you gotta look at it like if you were like a giant baby, okay? Let's say.
I think our actions are dumb enough. We don't need
And
words.
you don't speak English, you speak complete gibberish. You have no idea
Well,
what like you're seeing like strange.
Our actions are dumb, Will, but, like,
I don't think they know that they're dumb.
how would they know that they're dumb?
Exactly.
They might look at it and it might look dumb to them, but then they may be like, maybe it's dumb to me just because I'm not a human, and I don't understand this because it's not a part of my culture. Like, you know what I mean?
What if they're on a higher level of understanding than us, and they just...
Like, Will, if you went over to Africa and you saw black people, you know, they were wiping with their left hand and not shaking with their left, like, if you never knew about that custom, you would be weirded out, right? It's like, why does everyone hate me when I try to shake with my left hand? This is stupid.